Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, the home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Dave Ross. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. The website, arhq.com. Don't forget, if you missed the first half of the show, or you just want to catch up on previous editions of the show, all available via podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume your media. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters. All the previous episodes and segments up there for you to check out. Earlier in the show, we were talking about this being the unofficial kickoff of summer. A lot of people are vacation-minded, and people looking for a more budget-minded yet carefree vacation may want to consider heading to an all-inclusive resort. You know, you pay one price, enjoy unlimited food, drink, and most amenities for the duration of your stay. I did one earlier this year. It was delightful. But a travel writer for Business Insider says first-timers often make the same mistakes, like not researching before they book, not realizing they could upgrade to a suite with better perks, and not making dinner reservations extra early. That one bit me in particular. People shopping for a financial advisor for the first time, they could also make mistakes. What are some of the ones that you've seen?
You know, in reading over this article, I think there is some good pointers here. If you're listening and you've never worked with a financial advisor, it's important, I think, to understand the different types of advisors that are out there. Number one, I would say, is you have insurance salespeople. And I have an insurance license. I know, Dave, you do. Many people do at the office here, and there's certainly a need for insurance. But when somebody's only insurance license, all roads lead to insurance, and it's difficult to hold yourself out to the public as a financial advisor when you just have an insurance license. The second type of person that you have is you have some people that are what are called commission-based salespeople. And this topic has become more important here recently in the last couple of years as people talk about, does your advisor have a fiduciary interest in doing what's best for you? There's some great financial salespeople that are out there. They get paid a commission. They help you set up a product and, get paid for that type of transaction. To me, the challenge has always been in that scenario. If they get paid up front day number one, what's the incentive for things to happen after the fact? The third type of category is somebody that works in a capacity that has a more of a consulting type relationship. That's the relationship that we work with. When we develop a client relationship, what we want to do is really kind of do a comprehensive review of their entire financial picture. And then what we can do is then bring in some of the key professionals. So when we're looking at things like how to navigate the healthcare environment, we bring Scott in, and Scott can help them figure out Medicare and supplement, or when we're looking at taxes, either working with their accountant or CPA or introducing them to one of the relationships that we have. I can think of countless people that we've worked with their attorney or made an introduction to a estate planning attorney to get their wills or power of attorney kind of put in place. A couple of the mistakes I'd say is maybe hiring the first advisor you meet with. It's okay. If this is something that you want to do, is shop around, look at the difference of advisor. I know my area of specialty tends to be working with somebody that's, right at that transition point for retirement. That's kind of what I've tended to focus on. People that are younger, that are getting started in life. There are some other advisors that I know that do a great job with that program. So you want to understand kind of what the specialty of that advisor is. You want to ask about what the credentials are of the advisor. I tell people to make sure that you understand what the methodology and the philosophy is. I'll ask that question a lot and try to, help people explain to me what their current investment approach is. And a lot of times people don't understand what their current investment approach is. They don't understand the methodology. And to me, that kind of scares me a little bit, because if and when things get tough, and in the market they will, the person who doesn't understand their investment methodology and philosophy would be the type of investor that can be more impacted by emotional decisions. But when you know the exact process that went into picking the investments and the holdings that you have, if some of those holdings are temporary down, then the question becomes, if I believe in those companies in the long run, what do I do to try to add more into the portfolio? So choosing an advisor and helping, somebody pick the right advisor, there's a lot that goes into it. When you're looking at, giving that advice and talking to people about choosing an advisor, what are the feedback that you're giving people?
Well, I think it's very important that anyone that's a, quote, advisor has well-rounded perspective on just about everything. They should have a perspective on insurance. They should have a perspective on investments. The thing that I love about working at America's Retirement Headquarters is that we have a team approach here. And there are people that work here that do things that I had not done much of in my previous years as a financial advisor. And it's very comforting for me to know that I can go to these professionals and say, what is your take on this case? And they will help me. And they will help me come up with a strategy that's not only in the best interest of the client, but has a great chance to withstand the test of time in terms of what happens in the markets. And that's when you talk about retirement team action plans. It's not just one person. There's a lot of different inputs that go into that process, and that's why I think people should want to come here and work with us.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm actually, as an owner, biased on how that works as well. I would agree. But, a couple other pointers. If you're at a point where you have a financial advisor and you're thinking, maybe it's time for a second opinion, it probably is time for a second opinion. If you're at work and you've been just doing the grind for all these years, but retirement's right around the corner, maybe you're getting ready to retire. I know as we move into the end of school, a lot of teachers may be thinking about enjoying the summer and maybe making that more of a permanent decision for the long run. Getting a financial advisor, if you haven't, a couple other pointers is to ask for 5 references. You can get a couple references that are clients, maybe a couple professional references. Don't just get the references, call those references. Ask those references more so about what is the experience working with that team. How often are they communicating with you? What does that relationship look like? What do you love best about that relationship? You want to ask the professional like how they get paid for their services. I mean, nobody works for free. Our firm doesn't either. And if they're not charging fees, they must be making money from the sale of products. And again, that's not necessarily bad, but you want to understand, how things work, and this is your money. So those fees and expenses are important to find out. Ask if they can provide products as well as the financial planning. That, if they say yes, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does present, potential conflict of interest. If the professional does sell some of the products, ask if those products can be obtained if no plan is prepared. I've gone to hundreds of meetings over the years with other financial professionals, and I've been blessed to see, other offices kind of open up their doors to show us, how they run their business in different towns. And it absolutely amazes me when I run into these financial professionals that, by the time they have a cup of coffee and a 5-minute conversation, that they already have investment advice ready to give without really doing plan. When we do things, what we do is we take things slow. That first meeting really is really all about finding out about what's important to you, your goals and objectives. From then, what we do is we write up a retirement team action plan. And that retirement team action plan is something it's unique that's offered here at America's Retirement Headquarters. And as you talked about, we do have a team where we can work on that together, but the team also stands for taxes, estate planning, asset protection, and money management. It's that comprehensive approach of being able to put it all together. And those are the reasons why, when you're going to take a look at a professional, you really want to get it right. And choosing the right professional can make a big, big difference in the long-term success of your plan. We'd love an opportunity to talk to you. Love an opportunity to sit down and put that retirement team action plan together for you.
And a way to start that relationship and continue that relationship, because if we're talking getting you to, through, and beyond retirement, 20, 30 years, that is going to be a relationship, an ongoing relationship. So you want to make sure that you guys gel, that you guys have a good feel for each other. I'm going to go and plug the podcast again, another way to get a good feel for the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, all those previous episodes. You can also attend an upcoming event. You click on the events tab at arhq.com, find out more about those. Or if you just want to go ahead and sit down and speak with them directly for one of those second opinions, find out more about the retirement team action plan, or just, get started. It's as easy as reaching out 419-794-3030.